And we'll start with you on this one, John. So, have you started seeing conversion rates increase with the middle of the pandemic? I think the first time you were on, won't say the word webinar anymore, but the video call last time, we were kind of right in the middle of the shit, basically. How are we looking today compared with that?
I think, from my point of view, the fundamental barometer of the market improving in the current situation is the amount of physical inspections we're having at displays.
Yeah.
The inquiry level has been strong throughout this whole health crisis, but the face-to-face contact has been minimal, and the private inspections at the display suites has been minimal. But that has improved over the last 2 weeks, as has sales. So the conversion rate of people that have actually physically inspected a display suite is higher than it's ever been. It's so well qualified because of all the due diligence they're doing online. Our overall conversion rate is obviously down like everyone else in the business. It is improving. How much it will improve will depend on how our clients adjust to the new market.
Yeah. It makes sense. And what about you, Paul? What are you seeing? So I know you're kind of across the greenfield space as well, right, at Lendlease?
Yeah, so I'll probably, John's sort of addressing the apartments market predominantly, and I can certainly add some commentary to it, but I wanted to open up maybe looking at the greenfield community master plan market, which is very reactive, needless to say. Look, the buyer behaviours, there have been typically 3 types of people, and that's one that does nothing, and we've all seen those. We've seen one that panics and goes to the worst case scenario and, again, does nothing, but creates behaviours that are maybe not realistic. And number 3, people who plan and adjust, right? So it's that number 3 that we're starting to see since the easing of restrictions have allowed what we coin, I guess, open for inspection. So we went from by appointment to open for inspection on the weekend. Yeah. And we saw a dramatic increase in inquiry, not only online and digital, but also walk-ins. Dare I say, the restrictions of 10 people plus staff, in some cases we had to close the door just to allow people outside to filter in. So very positive.
Is this an MPC or in apartments?
This is greenfield community, so yep. House and land predominantly, yep. And I think what we're seeing in that 3rd level of buyer behaviour, that plan and adjust, is a lot of first-time buyers who are still in the market, and affordability has always been the challenge. The expectation is that stimulus will arrive at some point to further propagate, I guess, the property market. And filter down to all buyers, we hope. And I think people are just getting set. They're really now adjusting and getting set on what is their buying journey. And look, it's always got to start with inquiry, and then of course the face-to-face, and then move through that transaction roadmap.
Fingers crossed the kind of bodies can help us get the government to, or lobby the government with the 50K. Do you think we're going to see that go through, or do you reckon that's hopes and dreams?
Look, I think from an advocacy point of view, both the UDIA and Property Council Australia are doing a great job.
I agree.
And the same with the HIA. They're all proponents of industry. We know the industry is a massive employer in the economy, and we know the linkages. So at some level, I believe we will see some stimulus. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. But dare I say, affordability, again, is probably a key driver. And I guess the difference between house and land and apartments, which we span across and work in, is the fact that, look, we've got lower price segments in the house and land space, which can help to address that. It's always been at some level a challenge as you get to more of that inner city urban style apartment. Yeah. And also we've got a lot more competitive choices with a number of other builders, packaging up on land to provide a turnkey solution. So again, driven primarily by price, And there's a lot of competitive offerings, which I'm sure John's seen in the apartment market, with a number of incentives being promoted.
Yeah, we're certainly looking at ways, you know, I think the market is, there's a lack of urgency there. And I think we're trying to come up with other ways. We spoke about some things we spoke about, Paul, around how do we build urgency in a market that fundamentally lacks it? You know, I think things where we can bring time-sensitive offers to the table and kind of create that need from the consumer, I think is key. What do you, I know this isn't on the board, John, but what do you think about, do you think the incentives are going to go through from the government? Do you think
I think they will. You know, if you look at, you know, in the past when we've had issues with the economy, the government's always stimulated the property sector with stamp duty relief, first home buyer relief. You know, I dare say that they're going to do exactly the same with some sort of stimulus. Here, I think the, you know, our economy is worse than it's ever been. You know, it's the history has shown that the government's always stepped into the property sector, and they will this time again. What sort of configuration those incentives or government assistance takes, I think the Property Council's solution is a very sensible one.
Yeah.
It's for everyone, not just first home buyers, and it's been well researched. It's based on solid groundings, and I think it's a strong solution to help aid the recovery of the economy.
I agree. I mean, what I like about it as well is domestic, inward focused. You know, I think that's a positive thing as well.